Welcome back to Onslow County today. And this morning we have been all over the county judicial complex. We have been at the courthouse, both the old courthouse and the new courthouse. We've wandered all around this community. And now we find ourselves at the Onslow County Justice Complex visiting with Lieutenant David Evans from the Onslow County Sheriff's Office, the CSI department. Lieutenant Evans, thank you for being here with us.
You're welcome, ma'am.
We've been talking a lot today about making a difference in the community, making connections in the community. And recently we had the opportunity to work together on a new exhibit at the museum. And we just really wanted to get to know what you all do here at CSI for the public safety of our community. So tell us a little bit about CSI, what it means. I think people sometimes watch television and have all kinds of ideas, and the role that forensics plays in solving crimes in our community.
Okay, the CSI unit, it means crime scene investigation. Some people didn't know that. We're responsible for investigating all felonies in the county, whether it's breaking and entering all the way to homicide, sexual assaults, and everything in between shootings. We're called in to provide assistance to the investigation unit because sometimes we don't have suspects named. So we use fingerprints, trace evidence, and other means to identify a suspect, hopefully. Or if they have a suspect, to find evidence that locks them in so they can't lie, because evidence doesn't lie. People lie all the time. So that's what we kind of help with the investigative purposes. And we're also detectives, so we can actually investigate a crime and close it down if we want to, but usually we don't do that because we don't have the time.
So really, I mean, and I love that quote, evidence doesn't lie, people do.
Yes, ma'am.
So without even realizing it, they've left you 1,000 pieces of evidence, all those pieces of the puzzle. Talk about the sort of things that you look for. You mentioned fingerprints, but all kinds of those small details that we might just miss if we were to look at a scene.
It's kind of low cards theory is what we operate off of. Right now we've left something here. Mm-hmm. So when a bad guy enters a crime scene, he's bringing something that's foreign to the crime scene that's unique to him. And then when he leaves, he's taking something from the crime scene that's unique to the crime scene back to his car, his clothing, or his house. So that's how we can connect it to. It's just whether or not we can find it. Because there is something there, whether it's fibers from his clothing, fingerprints, his hair, saliva, skin cells, anything that he may have touched without gloves on.
So something is there. Now, you all bring all that together. You know, we think so much, and I know we've talked about that you sometimes go out to the schools and talk to them. When we think about the STEM, the science and technology that goes into this, what do you tell young people about the work that you do and what they need to know?
Kids ask a lot, and law enforcement in general, you need your English for writing purposes, to write reports. With CSI, you have to have your history, because you got to understand the Constitution, like all of us do with the Fourth Amendment and the constitutional rights. In the science, we have to understand how things happen in environments. We have to know math. We have to do angles for shooting reconstructions and that kind of stuff. And then, of course, our reports are very elaborate, so we have to do English is very important. So almost everything in school nowadays, the core classes, to be in forensics, you have to understand all four.
Now, have you seen, certainly there are a lot of television programs that are associated with CSI in some way. Have you seen an uptick in the number of children that are, or young people, young adults, who are interested in the field, who are asking you, hey, how do I get to do this?
Yes, I've been doing this 12 years, and it gets more and more. I don't want to leave anybody out, but I know Newbridge, Swansboro, and Northwoods, I know for sure those school systems have forensic programs the kids can participate. And I imagine all the schools do. I don't want to leave anybody out, but I know I'm there a lot at those schools. So they get a good foundation of what to experience outside of course, they don't know what the dead bodies smell or look like. That's another shock and awe that they'll get experience, hopefully, when they're adults, if they get into the field. But it seems to be the most popular thing. I'm asked CSI as a unit, but I usually handle it for the guys because I got enough pressure on them with crime scenes to take care of the what we call public relations stuff. So I'm at the schools probably once a month. I'm at least at one school, just talking to the whole program that they have set up.
And so we ask you to add one more aspect to your job when we invited you and asked you to join us for our exhibit at the museum about order in the court. And you helped us, in fact, create a crime scene. We had lots of visitors come and see that already. And what I love seeing, especially like you just talked about, were the kids were trying to solve the mystery. What attracted you to the field?
It was a funny story. I've always wanted to be an SRO.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the jail working for a couple months. They had a tryout, and I was super competitive. So I tried this week-long boot camp, and Sheriff Brown at the time said, "You finished number one, you're being reassigned to CSI." I had no idea what it was, what I wanted. I saw it on TV. It just come out. It was in 2008, so it was just pretty brand new. I had no desire to be a CSI. It just happened that way, and I've gotten pretty good with it, just like the rest of the guys in CSI. Our unit as a whole is extremely good at what we do.
And, that's the one thing that I saw as you all came into the building, into the museum, was the camaraderie and the teamwork, the communication between you all as you were working out the finer details. Again, when we think about young people who are interested in a field, share with us how important it is to have that level of communication and that kind of teamwork collaboration.
Right now, we're a fairly young unit. Me and Sergeant Gordon, we've been together 12 years. The other guys have about a year, and then we have one that has a couple months. We're all good individually, but we're great together. So we're better together than we are by ourselves. So at a homicide, we always work at least 2 or 3 together, just because we all bring something different to the table. Rank doesn't matter, experience. If it makes sense, we're going to do it. We try different things, but as a unit, we're stronger together than we are individually.
Well, Lieutenant Evans, we appreciate the time that you gave to us at the museum, but so importantly, what you do for the community. And thanks for being part of this spotlight here as we visited all of the county's judicial system.
You're welcome, ma'am. Thank you for having me.